Hello, and welcome to Recipes with Ben. It's easy to say that hop water has become one of my favorite new beverages. So in this video, I want to make a non-alcoholic version of one of my favorite home brews, a beer that was brewed with ginger, limes, and hops. So let's begin, shall we, to making this ginger lime hop water. So the target volume after the boil is between 1.5 to 1.75 gallons of hop water. So I'm going to start with 2 gallons of reverse osmosis water into the kettle. I'm also going to adjust the water profile slightly by adding some calcium sulfate and calcium chloride to give this a sulfate to chloride ratio of 3 to 1. So after weighing all the salts, I should have about 150 parts per million sulfate and 50 parts per million chloride, which should overall enhance the hop bitterness in the final product. Then for flavoring, I'm going to use 2 lemons and 4 limes. And to try to maximize the flavor of these fruits, I'm going to peel the lime and the lemon without getting too much of the white pithy part. Because it's a smaller batch, I'm just going to use a vegetable peeler until I remove all the peel from these citrusy fruits, and in the end it yielded me about 55 grams of peels. I'll also be juicing them off screen, but that gave me 170 mils total of lemon lime juice between the 2 lemons and 4 limes. The hops of choice for this batch was 1 ounce each of Simcoe and Lemon Drop. I chose Simcoe because it has some citrusy fruity notes that are associated with it, and Lemon Drop to complement the citrusy fruit being added. As I said before, I like the ratio of about 1 ounce per 1 gallon of water. So these hops are going to be steeped with the rest of the stuff at about 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Also off camera, I peeled and shredded about a quarter pound of stem ginger that yielded about 200 grams of shredded ginger in the end. And with all the ingredients pre-weighed out, I was ready for extraction. So I heated the water to boil for 10 minutes to kill off any bacteria that may be present, and then I decreased the water to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to use a hop bag, and into that I'm going to add the 200 grams of ginger, which took some effort so I didn't lose any in the transfer process. Next into that bag was the lemon and lime peels, and I made sure to pick up any stragglers that may have fallen out. And finally, I'm going to add the 2 ounces of hops into this. I then sealed up the bag by pulling the drawstring and added that to the kettle and attached it to the brew spoon to hold the bag up from touching the bottom of the kettle. The last item to add into this was the lemon lime juice, and I let that all steep for 30 minutes at 180 degrees Fahrenheit to maximize the flavor. After 30 minutes, I pulled the mesh bag out of the kettle and gave it a slight squeeze to remove any extra liquid and placed that in a bowl and turned off the power of the kettle. I then transferred that hot liquid directly into my 1.75 gallon keg that was pre-sanitized, and this overall yielded about 1.5 gallons of hop water. I then sealed it up and placed it in the fridge to cool. And I will note before I placed the hop water inside, I did purge it with some CO2, and after placing the hop water in the keg, I also purged it again a couple times with CO2. I then let it sit in the fridge for about 24 hours until it reached fridge temp, and then I force carbonated it, and finally set the PSI to 15 for serving. Final result is this hazy, light straw color beverage where the dominant flavor is ginger. It does kind of remind me of an unsweetened ginger ale, and after about 4 days, the ginger flavor does start to subside, leaving room for the more lemon-lime flavors to come out, and the hop character is a little overwhelmed by the rest of the other things added into this batch. I will say though, this beverage is highly satisfying to drink, and the batch was gone in less than a week after we brewed it. So let me know other things that you've tried adding to hop water besides just hops. And if you like these types of videos, consider subscribing so you miss out on any future videos, and I'll see you again soon.